Hey, what is going on, you guys? It's Rocket54 here. Welcome to the 5th episode of Life Stories. As you can see, I changed up the gameplay footage a little bit. I'm doing a Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare gameplay. Now, this is not the same episode of Life Stories that I was talking about in my previous one, the one where I was talking about the time I drew an inappropriate picture in class. This is not the same one. Because, you know, I figured out you could lower the gameplay volume, and I said that the previous one I did, I didn't save it, so it didn't like save everything that I'd done. So anyway, yeah, guys, welcome to the 5th episode. I lowered the gameplay volume. I really hope you guys can hear my voice. I lowered it by about almost half of what it was. So anyway, guys, this life story is going to be about the time I stole jelly beans from the grocery store. Now, this isn't really qualified as, like, stealing. Like, tell me in the comments if you guys think this is really stealing or not. Now, the thing is, if you guys are, like, one of my friends, you're going to be like, Liam, what? You stole something? You're like the goodest kid in the world. You're like the goodest kid I know. Which, if you ever met me, you would definitely think that, and I kind of am. But so anyway, let's just get to the point. Now I wasn't originally gonna share this, but it took a turn near the end, and the turn is really funny. But I'm not gonna say it now. So anyway. I was at the grocery store with my mom, and I was about 5 years old when this happened. Yeah, I think I was like 4 or 5 years old around that time when this happened. And I was at the local grocery store with my mom. Like, she was like getting some groceries there, and I was like, and I was with her. Like, I always went with her. I still do these days, because, you know, like, it's kind of almost better than being stuck in the house all day. And, you know, I don't really spend too much time with my parents because I'm playing video games, so I still go with my mom to this day. But anyway, so when I was 5, like around 4 or 5 years old, I was at the local grocery store with my mom. Now, this grocery store is literally a 5-10 minute walk from my house. Like, it's 10 minutes at the most, probably around, like, anywhere from between a 5 to 7 minute walk from my house is where this grocery store is. Now, I don't think they have this there anymore, but they have, they had, like, like, it's almost like when you go to, like, a grocery store and they have, like, all that candy in, like, bulk. Like, this grocery store didn't really have that, but this is what they had. It was basically almost like bulk. But it was like just no, they do have bulk, actually, I just remembered. But it was like these jelly beans you could just like put in a bag, and, you know, they calculate the weight of it, and then that would be how much you'd pay. Anyway, this part, so yeah, like, I was basically like, I was like looking at it, and I was like, man, I really want some jelly beans, and I was like, oh man, I really want these jelly beans. And then, like, I asked my mom, I was like, well, there's no harm in asking Mom if I can get some. And I was like, Mom, can I get some of these jelly beans? And they were like the Jelly Belly brand. I forget what the exact name, something along the lines of Jelly Belly or something like that. And I was like, Mom, can I get some of these jelly beans? And she's like, no, you've had enough sugar. And I don't even remember that day if I'd had a lot of sugar or not. But I was like, Mom, I want some jelly beans. Can I please have some? And she's like, no. And I was like, Mom, I want some jelly beans. Like, I was not taking no for an answer. I really wanted those jelly beans. And, so, you know, my mom's like, no, you've had enough sugar. You're not getting any candy today. And I'm like, oh, damn it. And then I'm like, so yeah, you know, like, I was, like, really mad, and I really didn't want them. But the thing is, like, I wanted it, like, really badly. And so then I was, like, just standing there. My mom was still there with me. We weren't really, like, we weren't really saying anything. Like, she was just, like, looking for something. I forget what, like, I forget exactly what she was looking for, but anyway, what happened was, yeah, I basically, no, so, guys, sorry about this next little clip here. I didn't look over the gameplay footage before I did the commentary. I don't really do that. Like, sorry about this. I think it's just like me just like trying to find a game here. So sorry about that previous sorry about this next part. Now, like, I don't even remember exactly why I left during this part. But anyway, so so yeah, and, like, you know, I really wanted this thing. Like, you know, I was just like, you know, And I look at it, and then, like, my mom's, like, not looking, so I open up the container where it was, and I take, like, a couple out of, like, you know, like, I take a little couple of them out of the bin, like, a couple out of some of the bins, like the different flavors, and I take some, and I was like, man, these are good. I was like, I just really wish I could, like, take a handful, put it in my pocket, and then just go. But I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'd probably get caught. So then, as I'm eating one of the workers of the store, and this guy was an old guy too, like, he was probably, like, in his late 50s, early 60s. This guy saw me, and this is where the turn happens. That was just so funny. So he was like, so, like, he sees me eating these jelly beans. He knows I didn't pay for them, because, you know, my mom's still right there. And then I'm like, and it's like, you know, I'm still eating them, like, I'm eating them, and this guy sees me, and he's like, hey, did you pay for those? And I'm like, no. Well, he's obviously going to know the answer. I didn't pay for these. And so basically, yeah, like, I'm there, you know, just I'm still eating them, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, no. And then my mom's like, and then my mom didn't know what I was doing, because she was, like, turned around. And then I think the worker said to her, I think your son was, like, eating some jelly beans or something out of there, and he didn't pay for them. And my mom got mad. She's like, and then the guy said, can I just see, and then the worker said, can I just see you in the back here? And I was like, no, I don't want to go there. He's going to get me in trouble. And then my mom's like, go with him. You're just going to talk to him. But I was, like, so scared. I did not know at all what was going to happen. I was like, oh, you know, is he going to ban me from the store? Is he going to call the police? Keep in mind, guys, I was 4 or 5 at the time. Like, I mean, like the worst you get is they'd probably ask you to leave. Like, the worst you'd get is they'd ask you to leave. Like now, I realize that now, but that would be like, they wouldn't, like, call the police over, like, 5 jelly beans. And, like, the jelly beans, you can't see them, but they were literally, like, a centimeter big. Like, I wish I could put a picture up on the screen, but I don't think I can. Like, I wish I could put a picture up on the screen of what they looked like, but they were, like, imagine how big a centimeter is. That's basically about the size of the jelly beans. I don't think, like, I realize that now, that they wouldn't, like, call the police on you, or, like basically hold you for questioning. They would just, like, at the worst, they'd ask you to leave. And even that, I think, is a little bit of an exaggeration. So anyway, the guy, like, says, come here, and my mom's like, go there. I'll just be right out here. If anything happens, I'll be right here. And so I was like, okay. So my mom basically convinced me, you know, it's not going to be as bad as you think. Like, she's like, just go with him. He's just going to talk to you. And she said, and if anything bad happens to you, I'm right out here. So that, you know, that calmed me down a little bit. So then I go in here. This is where the turn happens. I was like, please don't call the police. Well, okay, that part may have been a false memory, but I think I may have said, please don't call the police, or maybe I just didn't say anything. I don't remember. Remember, guys, this was about 10 to 11 years ago when this happened. It was either in 2005 or 2006 when this happened. So again, almost 10, 11 years ago. So I was like, oh my god. I was like, oh no. And I was like, what's he gonna do? And so then, like, I go in there. This is where the turn happens. And he said, come here. And so then I was still, like, getting really worried. I thought he was gonna, like, you know, like, I was basically, like, really scared. I was like, what's he gonna do to me? And so then, like, you know, he's like, come here. And he, like, opens a drawer or something like that. I think he, like, opened, like, a drawer or something, or he had, like, these machines in the back, and he said, here you go. And he gives me some jelly beans that were actually in that back room near where that area was. Like, he literally gave me some from that dispenser. He was just like, here you go, take them. And I'm like, whoa, what? I was like, what? He's not gonna call the police on me? I was like, he's not gonna get me in trouble? I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, am I dreaming right now? What just happened? And then he's like, you know, just don't, he's like, just, if your parents say no, just respect that, or something like that. And so then I was like, oh man. And then I was like, well, thank you very much, mister. And he's like, it's no problem. Just don't eat things without paying for them. And so I was like, okay. And then I got out, I told my mom what happened, and she was like, well, that was really nice of him. And I was like, yeah, that was nice of him. And so then, like, we just finished the shopping trip. My mom paid, and we left, and we went back home. And I'm pretty sure I told my dad what happened, and he thought it was pretty funny too. And so then, yeah, like, I thought it was pretty good. Like, I thought that that would have never happened. That would be like a teacher busting you for having weed in class and then asking you if you wanted to smoke with them later. Like, that would be like something like that happening. But, you know, this is like I just thought that was like a really funny story. Honestly, if that turn hadn't have happened, I probably wouldn't have shared this story. But anyway, guys, that is it for this episode of Life Stories. Subscribe for more content, and remember, you guys, whenever eating jelly beans and not paying for them, say no to drugs.